Good morning, SEC. Oh, baby, it's Friday. We've made it. We made it. What a long week, huh? What a long week. I think the weeks get longer the closer we get to football. We're 20 days away from kickoff in SEC. The cousins are filing in. I love it. I love to see it. Let me ask you guys a question before we get into this thing. 20 days out. You know, I love list season. I love the countdowns. Who was your favorite player to wear the number 20? Be sure to comment. I will post that. 20 days. We're less than 3 weeks. So tomorrow, Saturday, we've got two more Saturdays, and then we're in there, man. We are in there like swimwear. Cousins filing in. Let's see. Oh, hotty toddy. Tim was up early. Texas waking up. Not to be outdone. Boomers, Sooners, come on. Shane the Swamp. That's right. I didn't know where to go. You know, I thought I'd go around the world and, since we're talking hate today. Just kidding, Gators. Just kidding, Dakota. Come on, cuz. Good morning, buddy. All right, Razorback. All right, we are all in there, guys. And before we get going, let me remind you who's keeping the lights on besides the cousins. MyBookie. Come on over to MyBookie. Sign up today with promo code SEC, and you will get a 100% deposit match. And I tell you what, games are so much more fun. Like that first one, you may not care about Mizzou and Arkansas high school, whatever. But I will say this: you put a little money on it, it's a lot more enticing. You put MyBookie's money on it because again, they're going to give you a 100% deposit match. It's even more fun. Now, not to be outdone, I already saw them in the comments. Tennessee Legend Distillery up in here. I tell you what, this may be what keeps us going. There's going to be some bad times. Let's face it. There's going to be one or two fan bases in here. It's just going to have a fantastic year. But there's going to be a few of you that need a little bit of liquid courage to get through the evening. Come on over to Tennessee Legend Distillery. If you are in Sevier County, a lot of people ask, hey, where should I eat? Where should I do this? Hey, before you do any of that, be sure to stop off to my cousins over here at Tennessee Legend Distillery. They were going to hook the cousins up. Just tell them that the cousins sent you. You like sampling? I mean, it's just a fun. If you're coming in off the interstate, again, Mike gets mad about my country directions, but it's so simple. You pass Splash Country, you better start looking for it. It's going to be on the right. All right. Let's get into this. You know, I thought about doing a couple of things here. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do here in the mornings. You know, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to be just another news outlet, whatever. I mean, you don't watch that SEC podcast to hear my hard-hitting analysis anyway. But I didn't want to I wanted to keep it light and fun. So, I appreciate everybody that has sent clips and videos and stuff like that. You see something that's exciting or you want to talk about, be sure to let me know. We've got a phone line. You got a question? It'll be in the show notes. I forgot to put it on this one, but I promise here in about 30 minutes I'll put it in there. But if you got a question or something you want to talk about on the show, just be sure to let me know, and we will do that. But without further ado, there was a little news I thought was interesting. Arch Manning, of course, he's always in the news, right? Because he's God's gift to football. But apparently, Archie Manning, the old man, this is the older of all the Mannings, was asked about his grandson declaring for the 2026 NFL draft. Archie went on to say, Arch isn't going to do that. He'll be at Texas. That's interesting, right? I mean, listen, I know our parents, our grandparents, they have ideas. So, hell, I got a kid that I if she'd just listen to me, she'd be successful, but clearly they're not going to. But I was in the same boat, right? But Papa's out here saying, Arch ain't doing this. I think that's kind of bold. I think that's kind of dumb, to be honest. And the reason I say that is, what if? What if Texas has the year that some Texas fans think they can have? I mean, what if Texas beats Ohio State, beats Georgia, beats A&M, goes to the SEC championship, goes to the college football playoff, wins a national championship? If Texas wins a national championship, I will give everything I own to pick who I think the Heisman would be, and that would be Arch Manning. So and I'm not saying they're going to. Calm down, Oklahoma fans. Calm down, A&M fans. I'm just saying, for Papaw to come out here and say he's coming back regardless, I think that's kind of dumb. Because if they win a natty, if he wins a Heisman, why would he? Why would he risk another year of potential injury and millions of dollars to come back and do it again? That makes no sense to me. And let's not forget, it wasn't that long ago Arch Manning said, I'm not going to be in the video game. He's too focused on football. And guess what? His ass is in the video game. So let's calm down with the hot takes here. Now, I thought one of the funniest comments was made. I mean, coaches are so boring anymore. I try to show as many videos as I can, but man, I tell you what, you go through 20, 25 minutes of these coaches talking, 16 of them, it's tough to find a nugget of something entertaining. So I found it, and it was an Arkansas offensive line coach, but I just thought this was too good not to share.
Well, what we do here at Arkansas, our policy is when we're in padded practices, we wear knee braces. Games are optional. So if they want to wear them in games or they don't want to wear them in games, it's up to them. But when we're in padded practices, we wear them. When we're in non-padded, we don't. If you're asking my personal opinion on it, let's not try to light the world on fire. I think of the movie Forrest Gump, okay? You got little Forrest. He's got these braces on, right? And he's been told, man, you're slow, stiff walker, right? And then the boys start chasing him, and those knee braces pop off, and he's the fastest thing in Alabama. So that's my belief, as I think they're a little restrictive, and we're already the worst athletes on the field, so I would like to not make that even more so.
We're already the worst athletes on the field. I wonder, because not to tell you my papaw stories, but when I was playing back in the day, when we walked to school uphill both ways, I blew out my knee and I wore a brace. And I will say, it did feel restrictive, you know? Now, I'm not saying I wasn't an athlete, but I wonder, was I being held back because of that brace? I don't know about that. I just think it's funny, and I don't even know if it really helps. I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's been some studies done, but I've always wondered. In fact, when I was growing up, okay, yeah, we can do this, right? We can do whatever we want because Mike's not even up. He'll find out later. When I was growing up, you know what was in? Was big shoulder pads, right? So big restrictive shoulder pads. And you think of guys like Mike Allstott, you think of me locally, a guy named Will Bartholomew. You know, they wore these big neck rolls, and it was just so damn cool. And that's what we wanted to do. So what did we do? We all got big ass shoulder pads. But guess what else we had trouble doing? Moving, you know, mobility. It's funny because back then that was cool, so we went with it. Knee braces. I mean, you know what? Tape them ankles up. Tape the hands up. Man, I was a freaking mummy out there. Now that I think about it, no wonder I didn't get any scholarship offers. I mean, besides the fact I'm 5'11" and growing horizontally instead of vertically. But I will say there was a lot of untapped potential here. If they would have just given me an opportunity, I should have took the braces off now that I think about it. But I digress. You know who's a legend? Cousin JR. Up early. I mean, this guy never sleeps. Appreciate you, cousin, coming through, gifting KB Longhorn. KB, welcome to the family. A lot of Texas fans showing up on Hate Day. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Suspicious. Let's get to it. Let's see. Do I got any other fun comments? Oh, let me show you this one. This is a little... again, I stumbled across this because I watch too much TikTok, but down in Alabama, they're having a little fun. And if you got kids, and when I say kids, you know, preteen to teenager, which I do, their life is Snapchat. It's an app I don't understand. It's an app I'll never get. But I have been face filtered more in this house than I have probably this week, probably this month, more than I have my entire life. My girl likes it. Well, they're having some fun down there in Bama. Face filter was in here, and they went with a wide-eyed filter. And of course, they were asking these players to say something nice to the Bamas, but they realized real quick they were the joke.
What's going on inside? Whoa, what is this? Wait.
What's up with the Alabama fans? This is Cam Calhoun checking in for 2025. Oh, what the? Yeah, they. Hey, bro. Hey, they took you to the spot.
My name Richie Young. What up, Bama fans? It's just.
You ready for the season?
Hey, bro. Y'all trolling me, bro. Yo, yeah, he didn't change at all. Parker Brailsford, excited for what the? Hold on.
Daniel Hill, excited. What in the world?
Bro. What's up, y'all? It's Caden Proctor. What the?
Just, oh, wow.
What's up, guys? Cole Adams here. Looking forward to this great upcoming season. Roll Tide.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I've been got a few times myself, so I appreciate that one. That was awesome. And these AIs, I tell you, I mean, a lot of people think I'm really in the swamp. I'm not. This is technology. Okay, I'm really not in Gainesville right now, but we've said enough nice things. Let's get to the mean things, okay? Because there's some mean cousins. I posted the other day. Okay, let me just kind of explain how my brain works. All right, so apparently there was another sex toy thrown on a basketball court. And it got me thinking, you know, about that Ole Miss Tennessee game when somebody, I don't know who it was, threw a mustard bottle and a golf ball. I was there, but it wasn't me, I promise. But I got to thinking, who else would throw stuff on the football? Like, is there a coach that gets you so pissed off that you would absolutely, like, you would throw mustard bottles or golf balls? I could see it, you know. I mean, Lane Kiffin's a prime example. We, as a Tennessee fan base that was always trying to get back after Philip Fulmer, you know, we felt like we had it with Lane Kiffin, and then in the middle of the night, he leaves us. And then, of course, he comes back. That makes sense. I get it. I get why Tennessee fans would be so angry. But I had to find out who's the most hated coach in the SEC. So I posted this, and again, before we get into this is not my list. This is you guys. All right. If you made a comment, this is how I voted on who was the most hated SEC coach. Now, to be fair, it's probably a little skewed because I'm in Tennessee, but I don't know. I think a lot of people will agree with this one. So let's jump into it. The SEC, I power rank this thing. All right, we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to work our way up. And this one may be a surprise, all right? Because not so much who it is, because who it's not. I mean, if I were to ask you right now, who's probably the most unhated coach in the SEC? I think your first response would be Sam Pittman. Well, I like the guy. I love the guy. I think he's a fantastic guy. But Sam was not at the bottom. Sam got some votes. You know who didn't get votes? Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State. So part of me wonders, is this more to do with lack of success? You know, because sometimes I think what happens is when we think about a coach that we don't like, we usually pick him because he's winning all the time. Okay? So I'm going to jump a little bit. Number 13 was Kalen DeBoer. Now, if I would have done this list 10 years ago, 7 years ago, you better damn believe Alabama head football coach Nick Saban would probably be in the top 3, right? Now, this is a guy I can see quickly moving up the list, but surprisingly, not a lot of comments about him. Do we hate him? I mean, I did a list a while back. I hate lists, but I do them all the time. Punchable faces. I don't think it's a punchable face. Now there's some coaches that we're going to get to that definitely made the list, but 13 Kalen, I think he's safe right now. However, win a playoff game, win the SEC. This is a name that's probably going to move up this list quicker than others. Now, this one, not a surprise, but after the wonderful Netflix series that Cousin Mike was in, one guy was prominent in this show, and some people didn't even know what he sounded like. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, if you heard Coach Lee, if you saw this photo, 9 times out of 10, you had no idea what this man even sounded like. But he said some pretty strong comments. A lot of Tennessee fans didn't like it. A lot of Auburn fans didn't like it. But that's what I like. I like this shit talking. I like getting people pumped up. That's going to move you up the list quick. Also, pulling off upsets will get you up the list. But still, we're at the bottom. So let's get to it. Now, this one's the surprise. All right. And the reason that Sam Pittman, I think, is at 14 is mainly because there's a lot of fans that are over Sam Pittman. In fact, these are the kind of comments I was receiving. Sam Pittman for sure. Notice the tag there, Arkansas. So I don't personally hate Sam Pittman. I don't think 15 other fan bases hate Sam Pittman, but you know who does? Some of the Arkansas fans. So is that a surprise? A little bit, but again, I'm just reporting your numbers, not mine. Number 12. We're going to go Mike Elko. Now, Mike Elko looks and sounds like a fun guy. In fact, when we were talking about drinking beer with a random cousin or a random coach, he is one that kind of filtered his way up to the top of the list, right? Again, I think this is more about success. You ask Texas fans, they absolutely hate this guy, don't even know him. But this is a guy that if he can get over that 8-4 hump there in Texas, in College Station, I definitely see him moving up this list. Now, this one, another little bit of surprise. I'm here in the swamp. I haven't got to talk to him here lately, but Billy Napier, number 11. Not a lot of hate for old Billy. There's some hate down here in the swamp, but there is not a lot of hate outside. In fact, one of the comments I hear most about Billy, especially when we're talking hot seat, is let's give him another year. This is outside fan bases. Let's give him another year. Now, let's say, hypothetically, they pull off a magical run. All right. Now, Mike is absolutely in love with the Florida Gators. I don't know why. And I can't talk about the Florida Gators without bringing this damn image up. It seems like it's a requirement. But look here, guys. If Florida does surprise folks, if they truly are back, that means they're probably beating a team like LSU. That means they're probably beating Miami, A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Tennessee in the swamp, Florida State. I mean, if that happens, I think there was that time that, again, if we were redoing this list, that the old ball coach was the most hated coach in the country, not just the SEC, the country. Okay. There was a time when Urban Meyer was down there, most hated person. He still probably is. Let's be honest. If I put him in the list, he's definitely on it. But that's what success happens. You start winning championships, they're going to start hating you. Excuse me. I need to stop smoking cigarette. No, I'm just kidding. I don't smoke. But let's get to the next one. Who we got here? Oh, here's a little comment. It's definitely, Josh says, Brett Vegetables. Number 10, Old Venables. Oh, man. Do you agree with that? I mean, here's the thing. Photos, if I've never talked to this guy, he's got a punchable face, right? He's a guy that I can get why people don't like. But then I hear his story. Then I hear him talk. Brent's a lovable guy. I'm rooting for him. Deep down inside, I'm absolutely rooting for this guy. But there's a lot of fans that aren't. I mean, Josh over here with his pager, he says no. I mean, his welding glasses. I mean, this guy sees everything. And he says, I don't like Brett vegetables. Never thought about that. Shane Beamer, number 9. You would think Beamer would be higher. This one is probably the biggest surprise of this list so far. Again, not my list, your list. Shane Beamer had surprisingly no comments. Isn't that crazy? When I had the bracket, the tournament for punchable faces, it came down to 2 coaches. This was one of them. Now, why is that? Is that because they're winning? I don't know. Is this because I'll tell you this, that Netflix series, Shane Beamer, very likable guy. I can see why kids want to play for him. But I mean, you ask any Tennessee fan, you ask any Kentucky fan, probably Florida fan, they hate this guy. But for some reason, he didn't get a lot of love last night. Maybe they were all asleep. But number 9, Shane Beamer. Now, number 8, similar to the Sam Pittman situation, we got some Kentucky fans that are pissed off that Stoops is still their coach. Stoops, oh wait, that's just Kentucky fans. Number 8, Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops is a guy I would like to have a beer with, but he is also a guy that makes those smart-ass comments, right? He fired up South Carolina fan base with the glasses, right? He fired up the fans when he said he needed money, he needed resources. You know, he said some dumb things along the way, but I could see why Coach Stoops is higher up this list. Now, this is one that doesn't have the success, but still stays to the top. So that shows me more about personality than it does wins and losses. Now, this is the first phone call I got. Remember, we got a phone line. Check it out. All right. I'll put it in the show notes. It's on my Twitter. But this is the first phone call that we had. And this is Cousin Charlie, and he's going to let us know who the next coach is on our list.
Josh Heupel. He is an absolute goober. Always has a pissed off look on his face. And is not very good at game management.
Pissed off look. Josh Heupel does have a pissed off look sometimes. Yeah, maybe a lot. All right. Josh Heupel, number 7. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I like them big orange Vols. But I will say this. The comments that leak from locker rooms, the comments that are made outside of off a podium, I can see why fans especially would hate Josh Heupel. Now, this one, we're getting a little closer to the top of the list. This came from Michael Parker. Kirby Smart. No one thinks more highly of themselves than he does. He wants to be Saban so bad, but he is not even close. Thoughts on Kirby at 6, huh? Are you surprised? Are you surprised he's not higher? I mean, what are we doing with Kirby Smart? This is one that I don't like Kirby after he kicks my ass. I'll tell you that, you know. I don't like Kirby when he comes out here and he says dumb things at the podium, you know. But I do like the fact he calls out, hell, even the commissioner because he didn't like the schedule. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's got to be some gusto to that, but Kirby Smart, I don't know. Maybe I don't like – maybe if he was back like 3 years ago, just complete dominance, then I could see Kirby moving up higher, but I think that's a good spot for him. Now, this one's a surprise because probably number 1 on my list because I tried to hit him with a golf ball, but Lane Kiffin, number 5. This is a guy that obviously trolls every fan base, some more than others, like them Tennessee Vols, but he's also come to Auburn. He's picking on Brian Kelly down there in LSU. You know, say what you want. Coach Kiffin, has success, has changed a lot of things there in Oxford, Mississippi, but he's burned a shit ton of bridges along the way. So Lane Kiffin at the 5. Hey, cousin got a comment in. Who do you think SEC Mike hates? Let you think about it for a second. We all know the answer. Hugh Freeze. That's right. Number 4, Hugh Freeze makes the list. This is we're in the top 5, and you know you're hated because this is the first coach that has not had success, especially down there in Auburn the last 2 seasons. So this is one that kept popping up. I think more to do with, the comments he makes, the history he has, the talking out both sides of his mouth. Hugh Freeze makes it easy to hate him, okay? But Hugh Freeze can also move up this list if they'd get their shit together down there in Auburn and win some damn football games. But if they don't, then we will be able to remove Hugh Freeze from this list because he will not be one of the SEC coaches next year. Now, here we are. We are in the top 3, and I think there's no real surprise here. But this guy that we're about to talk to right now, I got another clip. Little bit longer, but I'm going to, if you are driving and you got kids in the car, you may want to mute it for a minute and 5 seconds.
Hell, it's cousin Joshua. I can already tell you what 90% of these recorders are going to say. And it's going to be a Tennessee fan or an Oklahoma fan, right? It's going to be a South Carolina or an Arkansas fan. Everyone's going to be like, it's Coach Drinkwitz. He's the most hated. He's a dork. No, you guys are dorks. We see you day in and day out on Twitter crying. Alligator tears. You guys are out of control. This man is living rent-free in so many fan bases' brains. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. So I don't have a most hated coach because I don't know. It just kind of is what it is. Brian Kelly killed a guy. That's probably got to count for something, right? Maybe Brian Kelly for being a murderer. But outside of that, I don't really know. But Tennessee and Oklahoma, South Carolina and Arkansas. Wow on Twitter. Day in and day out, Coach Drinkwitz. Shut up. You guys are annoying. Grow up.
Coach Kelly did get a lot of comments. I don't hate anyone, says Joel, but Brian Kelly is probably the most hated among the college football community, not just the SEC. Cousin Jenny, does anyone actually love this guy? That's right. Number 3, Coach Kelly. I think there's some that are surprised he wasn't number 1. In fact, he was the leader for a big part of the time. Just unfortunate. And we're splitting hairs here. I will say this. 1, 2, and 3 were freaking close. But Brian Kelly barely escaped the top. But who didn't escape the top? Yeah, Coach Drink. Tyler says Sark is tied for first with this bozo. I got another comment here, but number 2 is going to go to Eli Drinkwitz. Now, you probably remember Eli. I'll show you. This is why Tennessee fans hate him.
We're staying on business, Josh. Missouri wins number 8.
We're standing on business, Josh. Here's the thing. Like him, hate him, love him, whatever. Coach Drink speaks his mind, and it gets him in trouble. He did it with Coach Stoops. He was out here apologizing with Dari the other day. He did it with Tennessee, Josh Heupel here, standing on business. One thing I love about Drink is that he does speak his mind. The thing that he will always be is at the top of this list because he speaks his damn mind. So Eli Drinkwitz, number 2, which brings us to number 1, most hated coach in the damn country. And again, if you got kids in the car, you're going to mute this one for 16 seconds.
Steve Sarkisian's fucking alcoholic ass sucks a fat penis. That's all I got to say. Fuck him.
Oh, Sark getting a lot of hate. And I don't know if this was more just a pile on from A&M fans, pile on from Oklahoma, but this one picked up steam real quick. Most Texas fans, though, embrace the hate. In fact, I think they got shirts now that say this. They realize, and I want to ask you a question. This is a serious question because this is a comment I got too. I got a couple of these. Hate Texas, the color, the program, the fans, the logo, the mascot, the arrogance, the money, whatever. If you can hate what Sarkisian has done with his second chance, the effect he has on his players, the respect he has for his mentors, you're probably just broken. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I mean, let's remove Steve Sarkisian from being the head coach here at Texas. Do you hate him? I don't know. I don't think you do. Maybe if you like USC or whatever and you hated that situation. But if it's Lane Kiffin down there, let's go outside. If it's, let's say Urban Meyer, hypothetically, Urban Meyer's down. He's easily the number one. So I wonder if this has more to do with the fact that he's at Texas or the fact that it is Steve Sarkisian, and I'm leaning more toward the Texas part. But then I see videos like this. Yeah, maybe he is a mean guy. No, I'm just kidding. I do see that. I do see comments like that. But hey, we are one day closer to kickoff in SEC. I appreciate the cousins piling in here. I hope you guys behave this weekend. If you need some bail money, call me. If you need to talk, we've got a hotline. You can just reach out and ask questions. But I hope everyone in here has a wonderful weekend. We're one weekend closer to SEC football, and you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Go Vols.
Hey, buddy, this beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.